Batman here, and I'm super excited to show you my prehistoric Batmobile and prehistoric dwelling. Batman.
Makeover!
By
BrickBatDad!
This week, I'm building this wonderful Flintstone set. Then I'm converting it into this, which is basically the Flintstone house completely untouched. But then there's this Batcave containing a Flintstone Batmobile with a giant boulder slingshot. I'll show you some of the features and the details, movies, comics, fan art. This is Flintstone Batman. So, do you girls even know who the Flintstones are?
No.
No, not really.
All I have is a clue that maybe they live in a rock thing.
Is that because that's what you see on the screen? Okay. You never heard Meet the Flintstones. Have a yabba dabba do time, a dabba do time, like that?
No.
You never heard that before?
Nope.
That's how you know this is not a kid's channel or a kid's videos, because kids have no idea what this is. So you girls have never seen this, huh?
No.
Never?
No. Nope.
Well, I wish I could say you're in for a treat. That's his friend, Barney Rubble, I think. Look at how many people are in that car.
Crazy. Wait,
How can they even fit in there?
No seatbelts, that's how. And the babies are...
Daddy.
In
The
the
babies
laps.
are on the head, but Daddy.
Yes?
Do they even include the babies in the build?
No. That would have been awesome if they did not. Look at this. This is the big piece of meat that they throw on the side of the car.
It
So-
tips it over.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it tips it. Oh my god.
This is the only thing I back then.
Daddy.
Yeah. Just about. Nothing. This was as good as anything we could watch. All right, I'm done with this Flintstone car. Now we've got to figure out how to
Are
turn
you
it
gonna
in.
add the piece of meat on it?
Well, I just took the piece of meat off. Now I've got to figure out how to turn it into a Batmobile. Okay, the first step, I think, is to get rid of these wheels. There's no place in Batman's color palette for tan.
Or white.
Yeah, or white, really,
Anything,
frankly.
anything. I think you should take the white off.
Yes, I think so too. But the cost is going to be high. I'm out of the cylinders that they use for the wheels in black. And I looked it up, and this set has, I think, 2, 4, 6, 8. It has 16 of them. Has a bunch of them. But this is going to break my heart, taking this apart to try to make a Batmobile out of a Flintstone car.
Dumb idea.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to take it off to make the Flintstone car.
Heartbreaking. I hope I don't regret this. This Batmobile, this Flintstone Batmobile better be good. Better be worth it. I'm definitely feeling a little better now that I've got some black on this Batmobile.
But you're still sad you had to take the thing apart.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm working on connecting some back capes onto this. And I'm using these connectors that were used in the original build to attach the white fabric. It's a very interesting part, an axle connector that's known as a lightsaber hilt. Who is this?
Kylo Ren.
Correct. That's the first time this part was used to connect his lightsaber together. So I've got a lot of black on this Batmobile now, which is good, but it's still looking a little ugly. Olivia's getting impatient, so she started to build the Flintstone house. The weak point on this Batmobile is this boulder slingshot. Just doesn't look right.
It doesn't look like a boulder anyway.
Yes, I know. Even my girls can tell it's not good enough, so I'm going to take a break from the Batmobile. Olivia got distracted, so I'm taking over on the Flintstone house.
You are about to embark
Girls,
on an
there's
extraordinary
also this little-known Flintstone movie. It came out a number of years ago.
ice cold.
But it's not nearly as old as the cartoon. This is the commercial for it. It got terrible reviews, and I never saw it. I'm pretty sure it's terrible, and you can kind of see
To modern Stone
it's
Age
terrible.
Yeah.
to the
You'd probably love it.
Yeah, that's probably isn't good enough.
Yeah? You don't want to watch it? Why not?
Maybe.
Yeah. We could rent it. We're not going to buy it.
Because what if we don't like it? So, it doesn't.
John Goodman, Rick Moranis, Elizabeth Perkins, Rosie O'Donnell, Kyle MacLachlan, Halle Berry, Jonathan Winters, the BC-52s, and Elizabeth Taylor.
Fred Flintstone, you've arrived.
I'm only one man. Not from the back.
It doesn't get any better than this. Steven Spielrock presents The Flintstones.
I really like this curve on the sides, the way they did that. What do you girls like?
I like the chimney. It's very detailed. And
I like the roof.
The roof is very nice.
I've seen from the cartoons, there's like two bottles on the right side, like diagonal from the right window, and they included that with the build too.
Yeah.
Daddy, what I like kind of-
that is a
And the
nice
bowling
detail.
box with 3 pins and a bowling ball.
I like the stuff that goes around the window.
Who doesn't like orange tiger?
Curtains.
Right. I did a little research around Caveman Batman. Of course, there's this figure from the first series Lego Batman movie collectible minifigs. There's also these comics that are probably the first time the idea of Caveman Batman appeared. There's nothing more prehistoric than a cave. So it makes a lot of sense to combine this with Batman. I'm starting to get real excited about doing a cave for this build. Girls, do you remember this movie, Cosmic Clash?
Cave Bat was in there.
That's right. Cave Bat was in there, and to my eye, he looks a lot like the one from the comics. I'm not the first one to think of combining the Flintstones and Batman. There's a bunch of cool fan art out there on the internets. Go check it out. I've started off the Batcave portion of this build by grabbing some supports so that I can gauge how high I need to make this thing. I've also noticed that I've got a problem here. The boulder slingshot is in the way of the support. I'm going to need to deal with that. So I've grabbed some taller supports, and now I'm building around the Batmobile to make sure that it fits and I have enough room. I've decided to put a big black wall in the back of the cave. I thought this was a good idea, but now I'm starting to regret it. It looks quite ugly from the back, and I'm not even sure that I needed it to make the cave look good.
It doesn't look good when you see the inside because you just see a big block of black.
Okay, I'm ripping out that black wall, and I'm going to replace it with a more open layout, which is my preference in general anyways. I'm starting to like the general shape of the build and feeling like I'm on the right track. It doesn't look like a cave yet, but I'm able to visualize where I'm trying to go, and I think I know what I need to do next. I need more cave, specifically stalactites and stalagmites, and I can never remember which is which, but I need both. At this point, the cave's looking pretty good. I like how it turned out. You can still see some of the dark brown supports that I used, but I like to think of those as reinforcements to the cave put in by Bruce Wayne. I like that you can see through the cave. I thought that it was important to block that out with the black, but I can really tell that I made the right choice to scrap that. One of the features I really like is how I've pushed the support back to make room for the boulder slingshot. It's a real custom fit to this Batmobile, and I think it's a nice touch. At this point, I'm happier with the cave than I am with the Batmobile. There's just still a real problem with this limp boulder slingshot. It doesn't look like a boulder, and it's barely recognizable, I think, as a slingshot, and it's limp. With a few minor adjustments, I'm much more happy now with the Batmobile. The boulder slingshot's looking really good. I'm using a real boulder now, and I've got rid of the limpness by using a different joint. I'd like to point out that I used the same piece that was used for the meat for the slingshot. It's a brick arch 1x6x2 curved top. I think it's a nice touch. As you can see, I left the sides of the Batmobile the same as the original build, and I really like how they made the wood turn along with the wheel. Very nice touch. I can't take credit for that, of course. Another feature in the original build that I was really impressed with was the amount of seating in this thing. You can fit 4 figures in this. I wanted to push it even further, so I added this swinging out Mad Max-like seat that 2 more figs can sit in, making a total of 6 minifig seats in this vehicle. That ends up being the highest capacity vehicle I have in my Batcave. Pretty crazy when you consider that my giant Batwing only has seats for 4. The last feature is this barbed wire sunroof that swings open so that Batman can make a dramatic entrance when he pulls up in this Flintstone Batmobile.
Stop. What is that? Let me tell Daddy what we're doing. We're taking your big fig, Darth Vader and Kylo Ren lightsabers. What?
Where'd you get those?
They're from the closet, the secret makeup closet.
Overall, I'm really happy now with how the Flintstone Batmobile turned out. The boulder slingshot actually looks like a boulder slingshot. It looks like it could do some damage now, and it's not just some limp attempt.
I like it. It's just, I feel like it needs to be, the floor needs to be touching.
Touching what?
Like, the 2 flat floors need to be touching the same length as it, like, because the bench one is taller, kind of taller. See?
Who put the lamp in the Batcave?
I put the lamp in the back cave. I thought it looked good for the back cave.
Oh, I thought it was.
black.
I thought it was for the
Flintstones.
Okay.
But it's
It's a good looking lamp.
It feels like it should be in the back cave instead of dark in the Flintstone house
Because it's black.
because it's black.
Ah.
Yeah, it should be with their secret identity instead of with their everyday home.
I left the Flintstone house largely untouched, but I did add one small feature. I added a bookshelf to hide the bat pole until the time is right. Then I just simply used the hinge in the wall that was already there to allow Bruce Wayne to become
Batman.
Makeover!
by
BrickBatDad!
When I check my watch. No, not that watch. I don't have a Rolex. I have like 12 followers. When I check my other watch, which is basically the Dots new thing that I stole from my daughters. Anyways, and it barely fits my wrist because even though it's skinny, it's made for a small schoolgirl. Anyways, when I check my other watch, I see it's time for...
This box is hard to hold in one hand, camera in the other.
Come on. I see it's time for